Good?
We're good.
All right. Welcome back to the 2024 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsport Magazine. Coverage this year brought to you by Hooked on Driving, Everyday Driver, and the Valente Group. Special thank you to Eric Hall for hooking us up with the Verizon Wireless. This way we can make this happen. Thank you very much. Today, we are here at Tire Rack's headquarters in South Bend, Indiana on Borden Parkway, and we are going to get started with our first event for the year, and that is going to be the wet skid pad. So we're going to do a couple of different streams. We're going to leave this stream here so this way you can see the skid pad itself. And then we're going to start another stream a little more interactive in some of the cars and some of the other stuff going on and speaking with some people. So be sure to check that out. You're going to have an option as to what you want to watch. You can watch the action right here. It's going to unfold in front of you. We're going to Brian will zoom, pan it around a little bit so this way you can see exactly where we're going to be. So our skid pad itself is over here, and what the cars are going to do is going to come through the start line. They're going to start going around the skid pad. They're going to do 2 complete rotations in each direction. They're going to take the checker. They're going to turn around over here to do the other direction, and then they'll finish off, take another checker, and then come out right over there. It's pretty easy, but believe it or not, this is one of the most nerve-wracking things, because in addition to trying to figure out where the grip is and hold that line to get a really good rating and score as many points as possible, trying to figure out how many G's you're going to get, you got to start counting your laps. You've got to pay attention to the flagger, and it's such a truncated period of time that you have to get it right. It's very easy to not get it right, or to only do 1 lap and then turn around. You've seen a lot of mistakes happen here. It's something very easy, but something that builds the anxiety. So be sure to watch out for any foibles there. We'll catch up with some people. Enjoy watching this. We'll leave this one running here, and you can check out our other stream in a couple of minutes when we get that set to go. One of the fun things today, as you heard us talk about in some of the driver interviews, Brock is going to be taking out, I'll go in the car with him, he's going to be taking out the Tesla from Team PGR to see if he can get a better wet skid pad time than them. So that's going to be the sort of the example that we're setting how to go around the skid pad. So that should be fun. You want to catch that one. So you'll get 2 angles on that one. In car with me and exterior here. So if anything terrible happens, because Brock has never driven an electric vehicle before, right? Believe that one. So this is going to be a first for him, and it's going to be very scary for me. But let's see how that goes. We'll catch up with you guys later.
Zoom in just a little bit. No. That's good. Now we'll go back over this way just a touch.
So, while Brian is going ahead, and, well, it looks like Andrew did it with a .911. If you're watching the other stream, it looks like Brock did just about a .89, it seems. So Andrew has saved himself 50 points. So good for him. Now we got one of the Toyota cars out here. And yeah, initially we were just going to leave this up here because generally we have William Loring out here doing commentary, but we were kind of surprised when we got here and he wasn't. So I'll hang here for a bit and walk you through what's going on a bit while Brian is doing the roving camera work. So Toyota getting around pretty good, doing a .83 in that FRS. Gonna go clockwise now. Just gonna start with his first full rotation. He's got one more full rotation to complete before we find out what his aggregate is here. This last lap was a .81, so a little bit slower going clockwise for him. And finishes this one with a .821 for his cumulative number. Corvette warming up its tires as we have the Camry taken to the track now from Toyota PE. Camry starting its first rotation going counterclockwise. Takes the green flag. Here we go. And that is completing one. Camry throwing out a .742 for its first rotation. And its second rotation, .789. So definitely got a little bit better the second rotation. Let's see how they do clockwise. So .789, what they need to beat now to try and up that cumulative. And coming around to take the green for his first clockwise. There we go. Looks to be moving a little bit quicker, maybe. We'll get that reading momentarily as he finishes his first rotation. .764, so slower clockwise. Let's see if he can catch up to the .79 that we saw before. He's taking the checkered flag now. And we have a reading of .778, so improved, but not enough to really make any appreciable difference. So Camry doing its thing, and now we've got one of our Corvettes, a C7 out there. Big old wing. Should be kind of fun. It looks like some of the Zebulon Aero. They do a really nice job on their stuff, I've noticed. And here we go. He's off for his first lap here. Trying to assess the grip. Don't know how much the wing is helping in this condition, but it's an .821. He's got it trimmed all the way, which is good, so he's not going to generate too much understeer with it. And let's see if he improves. So .821 going counterclockwise, now .815. Does worse on the second rotation, so clearly something happened there. And now he's going to loop around and start going clockwise and see how he does. Trying to find the grip as he goes around there. We're warming the tires, at least on the shoulder, to try and get a little more grip. But here we go. Going around for his first clockwise, taking that green flag. Halfway through the rotation. Not looking faster, at least for me, but I could be wrong. Let's see what he pulls out here. .749, basically on par with the Camry right about now. And here we go, completing the second rotation. For a .739, does even worse So not the start that the number 5 Corvette really wanted. But now we've got Dave Ogburn, I believe. Yeah, it is, in that Porsche 911 Turbo S. I'm terrible with the year model designations, but it's a really powerful Beetle and really cool livery with Goodyear here. So him being a test driver and development driver for Goodyear, I'm really curious to see how these not the pilots, right? These are the Supercar 3 tires. My apologies. Let's see how these get on. We spoke with him yesterday, and during the week we're going to be catching up with him to learn about the things that he's assessing while driving. So here we go. He's going to start off going counterclockwise, it looks like. He comes around and he's trying to figure out where the grip is. And he's on his first hot rotation, counterclockwise. He's got one more to go. That was a 0.85, not bad numbers. But I'm sure he's going to want to improve on that. I hear him leaning into the throttle a little bit more. I see a little more displacement from the tires, 0.850, not as good as the first actually, so maybe step that a little bit. But yeah, definitely consistent. He's getting that car to turn around. He's working the wheel hard to try and generate some friction to get some heat, because that's really the key in the wet, is to generate heat in those tires, and there's not a lot of time to do so here. Taking the green flag for his first clockwise rotation. Here we go. And that is going to give him a 0.843, so a little bit slower going clockwise, but still within a shout of where he was in his counterclockwise rotation. And his second full rotation, 0.849. So again, very consistent, but quite frankly, not the numbers I was expecting. I'll be curious to speak with him later to figure out and to see exactly what was going on with the tires there. Here we have another C, looks like a C6 coming out. And it is the number 50 C6 silver Corvette, taking a leisurely pace around, but again, it's basically just keeping it in within the circle, not spinning out, doing the best that you can, generating 0.664. So yeah, definitely not the quickest we've seen, but again, first event, especially if they're brand new tires, they haven't gotten that mold release agent out of it yet, it's going to be very slippery. Some people don't scrub them in, some people don't heat cycle them, so yeah, the grip might not be there right now, or they're just taking it easy, waiting for the other events to start. But when you're up at the pointy end of the field, every single event counts. This year particularly, I think it's going to be a very competitive front end. We've got a lot of very fast cars, we've got a lot of very talented drivers, so I think that we're going to see some very tough competition throughout this event. Coming around for the first clockwise rotation, and the second counterclockwise wasn't really any better than the first, but the first clockwise here gives us a 0.661. So again, a safe time. Let's call it safe, not leisurely, I suppose, right? Because again, as we spoke about at the onset, it is a lot harder than it seems. It's a 0.733, so improved a good deal on the second clockwise rotation. Good job. Well, let's see what this other, let's see what the Michelin Corvette C8 Z06 can do. I think this is an E-Ray, if I'm not mistaken, actually. And it certainly doesn't sound like it, so it's an E-Ray. So let's see here. He's taking the green flag for his first counterclockwise. Standing here, it doesn't seem that quick, but it's a 746 on the first rotation. So pretty much what Brock did in the Tesla, actually lower than what Brock did in the Tesla. Comes around to take the checker for the counterclockwise, and it's just a 0.722. It's interesting, we're not seeing really big numbers up here today. I think Tom O'Gorman's had the highest so far There you go, sliding it around the turnaround to try and generate some heat in that rear. Going around again. So his first lap is going to give him just a little bit of a delay. 7.27, again, not much greater. Let's see if he improves in the second. You can see the brake lights coming on occasionally, so he may be left foot braking because I hear that throttle constant. Gets a little sideways coming across for a 7.20. Again, not stellar. I hear Mayfield going out, and here we have the other Michelin car. It's that CTS-V. Now let's see how this compares to the Corvette, because I mean, generally you want a softer suspension, and while that's not the softest, it may be a little softer. Be able to lean on those tires a little bit more to generate some more heat to get a better time. So the first one, yep, 0.803, definitely working those tires hard. Doing well in the CTS-V there, or the Blackwing. So the other was 0.803. Nope, slower this time. He lost it a little bit at the top end for a 0.798. So he's going to do a turnaround here, hitting the brakes hard and working the tires, trying to generate some heat there. There we go. Spinning the wheels a bit. Hey Jason, if you go back there, can you ask Ryan to come here? Yeah. Here we go. So it was a 7.46 on the first complete. Now to come around to take the checker. So definitely slower clockwise. And it was interesting as I was in the car with Brock, and we were going clockwise to counterclockwise. 7.84 on this one, so definitely didn't go better. Started off strong, but kind of waned there. You know, Brock felt as though going clockwise, he was a little bit faster, but it seems that everybody's still struggling with a clockwise rotation, because you really can't see as much, can you? So here we go. I'm curious to see this. We've got some really cool aero on Chris Mayfield's Lotus here. It's a car that just by itself handles really well, and with all the work he's done to it and all the testing and him being a really good driver, I'm curious to see what this nets us. I'm cautiously optimistic that this might be one of the higher numbers that we see today. So, an aggressive start. Car sounds good, looks good. You see that aero working with the spray coming off of the wing. Look at that. That's a pretty shot. Here we go. He takes the green flag. And we are coming around. Let's see what his first is here. Oh, wow. A 0.956. He is on it. He is moving quick. I think my hunch was right. 0.956 is outstanding. Where 0.990 does even better. That car is grippy for sure. He's going to do his turnaround. And let's see if our hypothesis proves correct that he's going to maybe go a little bit slower this direction, but absolutely setting the standard today at a 0.990 this last rotation.
People on video.
Oh gosh.
Video, guys.
Videos on videos. Thank you, sir.
Hang in there.
Here we go. Going around.
Trees this time.
There we go. We'll try. So his first clockwise rotation, we're going to wind up with a 0.982, still on it. Chris doing a fantastic job out here with that Lotus and all that aero, working well for it in the second rotation to take the checkered flag. 0.988 consistent. I think he's got it for now, Brian. So Brian was doing his stream, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the standard stream, so the 5 of you watching here, you can switch over to the other stream, and we're going to comment together, so this way, when we're done, we can pack up and get out of here. So that's definitely switch over to the standard stream, because we're going to be closing this one out about now. So thanks for watching. All right, Brian. So say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
So you got Brian
Jumping
and
into the other
Solomon.
stream.
Yep. So we've got Andy out here now. Brian coming to us from after the live streaming. He just pulled a .880, so he's almost close to that Lotus now.
Yep.
And he's finishing off with a .875, a little slower, maybe got a little greedy there, right? But that car, again, whereas Chris has a whole bunch of aero on that Lotus, so does Andy here, and this is a car he knows well and has been with her for quite some time, right?
Yes, I guess he's been running this car since about 2010, 2011.
Something like that. I think 2011, if I'm not mistaken. But here we go for the first clockwise. Let's see if he does any better. He's starting his first rotation now. Let's see how he does. And does a .848, so fairly consistent. A little bit slower, maybe. Doesn't sound as though he's on it as much here. But I'll tell you, that Lotus was really fun to watch.
That Lotus is fun to watch every year that Chris has brought it. I
It
think
is.
this is the third or the fourth year that he's brought that car.
.186, not as good. So
816.
816, there you go. Not as good as I think Andy would have hoped, but you know, I was really surprised about the E-Ray. I thought it would do better, but and you know the Caddy, the Michelin Caddy,
Yep.
did better than the E-Ray.
That is amazing. It's really going to be interesting to see how Chad does here in the Hart Racing Acura NSX.
Yeah, man, this was our favorite car last year before we had to bow out because again, it's an NSX and a half.
Yes.
So it's the it's they do some cool things.
.922 on his first.
9, that is outstanding. That arrow is working well, you know, nice and high. And I think it's the same arrow provider
Yep.
for that, you know, the Zebulon arrow, right?
Yes.
They do some cool stuff. I'm falling more and more in love with them every time.
Yeah.
They haven't paid us anything, but I just see their stuff and it's working really well.
And their team is a lot like the Toyota team. It's all Honda
Yep.
employees at their
Yeah.
Marysville, Ohio plant.
And they're enthusiasts.
They're enthusiasts.
They're enthusiasts first, employees second, and you know, competitors through and through, and it's fun to see. So let's see what he winds up with on the clockwise, because we always go slower clockwise, and I hypothesize, at least from all the times that I've done this, .935, so not that much slower.
No?
That's just because it's a harder sight line going clockwise.
Yes.
Rock disagrees, but the data doesn't lie. .956. So there are a couple of really grippy cars here.
Yeah, that was a nice step up from that first lap. And
I
as
can't-
Chad comes off of the skid pad, here comes tire tester extraordinaire Randy Popst
Yep.
in the throttle stop ZL1 1LE.
Yep. That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
And right behind it we have Brian Valente. It looks like
Yep.
I think in the Shelby. So I mean, here are two cars that really do go kind of head to head, don't they?
Yes, they do.
So, but you know, Brian is a great driver. He's a good driver, but he's not a Randy. So let's see what Randy gets here.
.724 on the first
7.24,
rotation.
So that's a Camry.
Yes.
He's a Camry right now. Come on, Randy. .724 first and .769, so fairly consistent, a little bit faster, picked up a little bit of speed, but still a Camaro, and I wonder if this is an indicator of the wet performance of these tires. You know, Randy said that they were okay in the wet, but we know that, you know, this isn't the definitive wet event, but it's one that gives us a little bit of an idea.
Yes.
And compared to the first cars that went, the sun is shining now, the track is going to be getting a little bit warmer, so easier to heat those tires up. And I think this is going to be a situation in true one-lap fashion where the longer you wait, the more it's going to come to you, right? So it's a 770, so Randy going faster clockwise, getting it dialed in. And let's see what he pulls on his second full rotation. .762, so a little bit slower.
But 4 actually sort of consistent laps, all in the
They
same.
They were consistent. Let's
Yes,
see
they were.
how Brian does here. Because these cars really are sort of a good head-to-head match.
Yep. So we've got a genuine lap pup out.
Yep. This is his first time, so let's see how he does.
Takes the green flag from Mark Hopkins to begin
Yep.
his rotations.
And Mark, obviously, our. Well, I don't think we're going to be up in the 7s. I'm gonna guess around a 5 to a 6 on this one. Just being cautious. Yep, 611. So that's pretty much on par with what I was expecting here.
More beans, Brian. More beans.
More beans. It's all right. You just got to make it through it, you know. For lap pups especially, I think the biggest challenge is making it to the end.
That's right.
So he's doing the prudent
6:16
thing.
on the
So he
second.
improves a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see if he does any better going counterclockwise. Maybe he's a Brock type. You know, I think this is a faster turnaround here than there.
Yes.
Brian, we love you. Brian also, obviously, one of the sponsors of our live stream here with the Valente Group. So thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
We're gonna.
Oh, no, that
The other Brian. There are many Brians.
That
There's
Brian
a
or
Brian
that
right
Brian?
here. We got
Yeah.
3 Brians in frame. We have Brian Shaw, we have Brian Valente, and Brian Humphreys. My phone log is going to look terrible. All right, here we go. On the first clockwise rotation, he's pulling a 6:04, so consistent with his first counterclockwise rotation. And let's see if he ups it a little bit here. He's got to be nervous inside that car because
Yes.
this is the first event ever that he's turned now for the 1 lap. He's been excited to do this. I've had 0.579, a little bit slower, so he may have stepped out some more and had to battle some understeer. But all in all, a safe showing, but, you know, his first time out. Good job, Brian.
And now,
Now
Scott
we've got
Kors.
Scott Kors. He has no excuse not to do really well.
Yes.
He's done this many times. He's in a car that's all-wheel drive, got plenty of power, plenty of handling. I kind of wonder, you know, let's see how he does here. I'm rooting for him. He's a good friend.
Yes.
And, you know, let's see what goes on. So he's taking the first full lap.
Kind of slow a little bit.
It is, I think 797,
797.
not terrible.
I think
He's going to be on. Gets it loose there.
yeah.
That's going to hurt him. That's going to bring him down to a 6, I think, in there. But he was just about on par. You see the back end stepping out. 806.
Wow.
Okay, so he is on par with Dave Ogburn.
Yes.
And Dave
And you-
Ogburn in a comparable car.
Yep. And you rarely see someone step out and increase.
Their speed,
Their-
that's
their
right.
speed around
Unless he does it right over the line.
Yes.
Like if he gives it the beans there and really kind of thrusts it over, then it can work. But definitely not on the first. You don't want to do that. But he is battling a little bit of oversteer and push, it looks like, at the same time, you know, endemic to those cars. So he's, you know, it might actually be heating up the tires as he's doing that too, generating some friction. You know,
7.6.
7.62 consistent. But I am kind of surprised because my gut was telling me that these cars, especially Dave and Scott here, would be really quick.
839.
So there it is. So I guess the tires just had to come in. So with warmer tires, I think you hit the ball part, you know, hit the ball out of the park here.
Yeah.
But I think what's really interesting is that Dave Ogburn, obviously a great driver in his own right, and Scott's done this for a long time, pretty dang equal. And I think Scott actually has the edge on Dave for this one. All right, what do we have up next? We got
And,
people
you
running
know-
across the track now, I guess, moving around, photographers.
Yep.
So not bad. And what car is this up that we have
I
next?
think this is
It's right in the sun.
I think this is Christina Nielsen in her Acura.
Okay. So this is the Potenza peoples.
I believe one of the Potenzas.
One of the Potenza.
Yeah, one of the
Potenza. That makes more sense. Okay, here we go. That is the Acura. You are correct. So this is the Integra S, right?
I believe so. yeah.
All right. It certainly looks like it. Let's see how she does. Pro driver out here taking her, and she is a lap pup as well.
Yes, she is.
We have to chat with her at some point here. Welcome her into the fray.
And she is her father was a pro Le Mans
789.
driver.
And he gave it the full Nelson.
Yep.
There we go. 789 for her first lap. You got that finally.
Yep.
All right. And
It's
let's see if she
Nielsen.
improves. Well, I'm going to say Nelson.
Yeah.
Just because I just made
So
it up.
792.
7.9. She improves moderately but consistent. Let's see if she gets the turnaround right here. All right, she opts to go the other way. A little longer way around. And then you have to get yourself situated for the clockwise rotation. Let's see how she does here. If she is slower or consistent.
You know, one year for one of these streams, we need to put a waterproof GoPro,
GoPro there?
on Mark. Oh, no,
On
on Mark.
On Mark. You can
And
do
and
that.
let him do commentary.
808, she is faster clockwise, so she's getting the lay of the land here. So she and Brock going to the same school of driving. And her second run, 821, improves. So good job for a first time out. Okay. So now let's see what the other Potenza. So that's Potenza
Oh no,
race.
nope. I'm sorry.
What
We
is-
are incorrect. That is the other Acura team from Hart Racing.
Oh, is it?
That's Justin and Nick.
Wop wop. So Justin and Nick. Okay, so we have to see how the other Integra does.
Yes.
Okay, so now we have a base. So Justin, Nick, we're sorry, but we don't care. We're calling the action. You're
Yeah.
not. We can make up whatever
You
we
did an
want.
interview with us this year.
Yeah, that's right. So, all right, but here is one of the Bridgestone cars, obviously.
Yes.
And I think this is their Acura.
Yep. Because it looks like the next car in the queue is the Honda.
That's true. These are very confusing things because they are at its core the same vehicle. One more luxurious and has some more settings and a higher price point and more provenance with it. But yeah, this is going to be a real good. Why are they stopping? Oh, the car looks like may have shut off. I don't think that they've understood what needs to happen here. They're switching directions. They've done one so far. I don't think it was even a complete lap. They had stopped. Or did they just want to start this direction? I'm confused. What's your read on it, Brian?
Same.
This is not the 729. So these are lap pups. I think we should point out. So these being lap pups, again, as we mentioned at the beginning, it is very easy to get confused out here. 750 on this one. So they are confused.
Yes.
So they're going to come out, but I think that's going to be DNF because they didn't do the complete rotations. So that may well be a DNF for the Bridgestone team. We'll follow up on that, and this is right here. The other Bridgestone car is the Honda Civic, right?
Yes.
So
I believe
let's.
This is the Type R.
This is the Type R. Yeah. So all they have to do to beat their teammate is complete the rotations.
Correct.
All right.
Not giving them the one to go
Yep.
and making sure they see.
Yep. It's an inauspicious start. Here you go, 795, so just a bit faster than our Camry earlier on. 794, so that's pretty darn, pretty darn consistent. Let's see if they do the turnaround right here. Yep, okay. They got it right. So this is the RE75s, it says. So is this the race? I'm not sure. No, it can't be because the race is the Acura.
Yes.
So this is not the race. So this is supposed to have better wet weather performance anyhow. So let's see how that does. First clockwise rotation nets us a
797.
797. Pretty consistent across the board. But what's interesting is that Acura, even on tires that should theoretically be performing worse, even though they didn't, what's this? We've got an identical time, 797 it would appear.
Must be.
So very consistent there. But the Acura, which is on a theoretically slower tire, set a better time,
Yes.
but didn't complete.
Yes.
So who knows? Here we got another one of those Volkswagen Porsches.
Yep. And this is the Peter Lear DJ Allison Drini entry.
There you go.
I've got a feeling probably DJ is at the wheel
Okay.
since Peter
It's-
always tries to bring in a gun.
Yeah. All right, so the first one, 820, not bad, not bad. A long line with all the Porsches so far.
Yes.
They seem to be in that mid-8 area, that low to mid-8 area.
Yep. And the car owner, Peter, he's one that comes out
805
to our
Polestar.
HOD Southeast events
Okay. Hey, Peter.
down,
Again,
down at Roebling.
And one of our sponsors, HOD, national as well as Northeast and Southeast, and everybody happy to hear. Northeast obviously providing the certificates this year for everybody. But yeah, those Porsches, they tend to not really break out much, except for Tomo was only in the high 8s, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
So yeah, very consistent cars there. But the English car putting a blitzkrieg on the German cars today.
823.
823. Let's see how he finishes off to take his checker. 821, consistent.
and very respectable run.
Respectable, absolutely. Puts him up toward the higher, top third of the field, I would
Yes.
say, at least for now. All right, now here's another Corvette. Here's a C8 again, and I haven't been that impressed yet.
Which, you have to ask the question, which Corvette, best Corvette?
Which Corvette, best Corvette? I don't know. I don't know yet. Not the era yet. Because
I was quite surprised with the performance of I thought that it was going to be up at the pointy end of the field.
I agree.
We see their first lap here is an 8.27.
Yep, so they're doing okay. So they're getting into Porsche hunting territory here. 8.27, 8.51 improves on it. So best Corvette performance we've seen so far from a C8. And I can't help but wonder, because I see a lot more lean in this car, so I wonder if they have the suspension on soft, which is really what you want here anyhow. The others that I've seen so far have been very stiff. They didn't seem to really lean on the tire as much. This is, you can see the articulation in the car.
You definitely want the body roll at this event.
Yeah, you want to heat that sidewall. You want to heat the tire up. You want to get that friction. Put a lot of weight on the outside. 880, wow. That is staggeringly good from what we've seen so far with Corvettes. This Corvette may be best Corvette.
This Corvette, best Corvette.
There we go. 872 consistent. This is, empirically so far the best Corvette.
Yes, it is.
Nicely done, number 16. Could you see the driver in there?
No. And I don't have my checklist of cars and drivers in my hand.
I have my phone. I've got that. You can look that up later. We'll talk about it later. So this is another one of those Porsches. And, I
think this is JD.
This is JD.
Yes, it is.
So our Garmin guy. Thank you, Garmin. Obviously providing our watches and catalyst units. And we started our Garmin challenge this morning. Took a photo of it on Instagram, 779. So under most of the other Porsches right now. But, again, not a pro, not a hired gun, not somebody who's done this a ton. This is only, I think, his second or third year doing this.
Third, I believe.
And I think he had other drivers who were really doing most of the driving prior.
Yep.
749 consistent. But yeah, we started our Garmin challenge this morning. I started off at 100%, and I am not going to charge this watch throughout the rest. Brian, you had it at 100% this morning?
I had it at 100%, and I'm already down to 91.
I am at, let me scroll up here. I went the wrong direction at first. I'm at 99%. So that's...
So I guess I'm going to be going out and buying a Garmin to replace the Apple 8.
You know what, JD? I think if you have another brand evangelist, maybe want to find its way to your door. There we go. It happens. Stranger things have happened.
This is true. So JD with a 5.53 on his first rotation.
It is harder.
It is.
It is harder clockwise.
I know it from experience doing the wet, doing the dry skid pad in 2019.
Yep.
I thought I was flying around the skid pad on the clockwise, and I think I ended up finishing 61st.
It's a weird sensation, isn't it? Because you're in the car, and you're doing so much, and there's and you constantly have the water hitting the windshield every single, and you feel like it's the sensation of speed. Here's the field's auto. I'm curious to see how this goes around.
Scott talked to him on the other stream right before. Said he was going out and getting a little bit more heat in the tires and getting it ready. He said he's going to miss the body roll normal because this car is quite stiff.
Yep. And there's no traction aid in this whatsoever.
No.
It is your right foot, and for his right foot, he pulls a 789 out of the bag for a very analog car in a digital world, which is a great showing because that's where you are with the Camry with all these electronic aids and things to keep you in line.
Down to a 784. Yeah.
So a little slower that way, and sometimes you do go slower that second lap because you think maybe I can push a little bit more, and then you generate more understeer than you necessarily wanted to. There we go, trying to kick it around. So here we go for the clockwise rotations. First clockwise rotation nets us a 784.
So right on par with
equivalent, yep. So he's consistent, 100%. His mom's got to be proud.
Yes.
She's here. Ma Robertson.
785.
7-8 improves.
Yeah.
So he went to the Brockade School of Corner Cutting too. So
Yeah, you know, Scott, if we were at Barber, you'd have got charged for that.
about $60,000.
Yep. And here comes Scott O'Donohue in his
Yep.
wife's daily driver
In the in the McCann, right?
in the McCann S.
Yep.
With some slight mods, as she told us yesterday.
Yep. Now let's see if this is on par with all the other P cars that we've seen so far, or if it does better.
Well, remember, you know, Scott's been bringing his Porsche. Matter of fact, the Porsche that JD is driving this
Yep.
year.
Yep.
So 760.
760, so it is an SUV nonetheless,
Yep.
but still in that P car territory. Did the sprinkler shut off for a moment?
They did.
I thought I saw that.
778.
778 improves. Nicely done. I gotta whip around and do it the other way.
Now, what's going to be funny is when we find out that it's actually Leah behind the wheel and not Scott.
Yeah. Well, no, she said yesterday that he was gonna be doing it today, right?
I think so.
But she couldn't-
No, she was doing the wet and he was doing the dry, I believe.
Was it? Maybe I think it was the other way around.
It may have been.
Somebody go back and check our math.
Yes.
So,
Somebody quickly go back to yesterday's live stream and check that up for us.
yeah, one of the many, as we've been still struggling through some issues with our equipment.
785 on lap 1.
Okay. And we've got another P car after this.
Yep, that looks like that's the Parts Farm.
I believe so. That's Rob Bowen.
And 807
Okay.
for lap 2.
So I'd say that's an outstanding showing for that vehicle.
Yes, very much so.
Woo! Listen to that turbo spool up. It's got a big old honker. Not going to do you much help here, but
No,
you know,
it's not.
Let's see what Rob pulls out. And he's on the Potenza races. Obviously, Parts Farm, a sponsor of ours this year, taking care of our trophies for us. Thank you so much. If you're looking for parts for your vehicle, head on over to Parts Farm, and pretty sure they've got what you need. Sliding around there, that's not going to do him much good. That might put him down to low 7s, I'm assuming. Or was that not even counted yet because that wasn't his first full lap? Okay, so this is his first full, I suppose. No. Did it not register? There seems to be an issue here.
Yep.
Because we are not getting any times. Well, that is not good. We'll have to figure out what's going on there. We'll make up the time. We'll just say it's in the mid-8s because that seems to be what all the other P cars are doing right now. Let's see if it picks it up clockwise.
No score.
I'm not seeing any time either. Well, that may be an issue.
So I see Mark is on the radio right now, so
Yep.
they may
be aware of this. They may hold up. Chris here. Oh, 792. We just saw one go, but he may have to rerun.
Yep.
Well,
So
oh, that's a shame. You know what I wonder? Just the time. Yeah. From Woody, the man, he's on the mission.
Yes.
He's gonna fix it. Fix it, Woody.
Oh, I thought he was going to try to jump over.
All right, here we have another GT500 from Kevin Walsh, I believe
Yes.
is his last name. Let's see how he pulls that GT500. CFTP, carbon fiber track pack. And I still don't see a number. You know, I wonder if maybe that's just not showing, but it is recording.
Yes.
That could also be the case. Stranger things have happened because
This
I
is
don't
true.
see a look of sheer terror on everybody's eyes that we're sending cars without recording them. And I get the sense that we probably would have stopped things
Yes, we would have.
had we not been able to actually record times. So we're just going to make up and say he's just pulled like a 5G on the skid pad. That's what my
That
guess
would be a track record.
That would be a track record. You know, Formula One's in Miami. Maybe we're getting some of that up here. You know, he's got the
So
wet
it's
weather tires.
797.
7.9. That's pretty respectable for that car.
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
the best I've done was like a, I don't know. I got to go back and look. I think it was like 8.2 or something. It wasn't that great, but it was
801, number
okay.
2.
That seems about right for that. I'm curious what tires he's running, because I remember I beat Billy in
Yep.
the skid pad.
He is running Michelin, so I would
Could be
probably say PS Force.
It's got to be, because it's not going to be the PSC2s.
Yep.
It can't be, because that's streetable track and competition, and we can't use those.
Yep.
It's got to be. Best you can do here is a max performance summer.
Unless you know,
Extreme. It's
unless
a
you know
Max or
somebody at Michelin and he's got a set of PS5s.
No, it wouldn't work,
That's true.
because they have to be offered a tire rack.
That's true.
All right, we've got one of those Camaros. Now,
Is this a 4-cylinder Camaro? Because it's awful
it's not
quiet.
making noise, but you know what? He's right where Randy was.
Yes, he was. 735. $827.
He's crushed Randy.
Wow.
We need to give him a T-shirt that says "I beat Randy Post." Now, you'll often hear us talk about pro drivers and beating them, and it's not that we don't love them. It's because there's a certain pleasure. And there we go. We had the sprinklers go off again for a moment. There's a certain pleasure in taking it to them, because this is all they do all day in, all day out. It's not that we don't think that they're phenomenal drivers. They are. They can drive circles around all of us. But every now and then, we will win the day.
Sorry.
One of our tire rack
One of their
social media reps.
One of their social media mavens.
Media.
And every time you see her, even last year, she has the biggest smile on her face.
Except for-
814 up to an
Wow,
872.
Nicely done.
Wow.
22 Camaro. Who is this? They have done well, or have chosen the right tire.
Their own Contis.
Continental, okay. Oh, yeah. I was wondering for a second how you could read the tires that quick, and then I remembered we have the stickers over the
there's
front
a sticker
fender
over a fender.
for this very reason, I suppose. Here's another
This is
Camaro.
the Smoko Motorsports Camaro.
But let's see here, because that had no arrow.
Yes.
This has lots of arrow. Very cool arrow, mind you, if you take a look at the details.
839.
So it's working for him
Yep.
off the bat. Let's see if they improve here. Randy,
Yeah.
take note. You're the slowest Camaro so far. So if we were asking which Camaro, slow Camaro,
840.
840 improves on it. That's the
This
post
Camaro, best Camaro.
This Camaro, best Camaro. That's true.
But we haven't had the Iowa
That's
two guys,
true.
one Camaro team
Yep,
go out
that's
yet.
right. But clearly doing a good job. And did you catch what tires these are on?
Not yet.
Okay, I haven't either.
We'll see when he goes by.
We'll figure it out with our post. It's getting hot now. I'm even out of my vest at this point. Holy moly. It is definitely going to get grippier out there now.
Yes, it is.
Tires can heat up, so again,
So
that...
825.
Wow.
Rotation number 1.
Okay.
I think this is probably going to be in the 830s, maybe low 840s.
So he's in P-car territory.
Yes, he is. 836.
That is outstanding. And it looks like Michelin. No,
Oh,
Bridgestone.
Bridgestone.
Bridgestone. So he may be on the Potenzas.
Yes.
Maybe the races. Who knows?
And here we have Neil Simon, Michael DeBrayu's Miata.
Yep. And this is the smallest car he's done this event. And Neil, not known for taking big cars. I think the biggest thing he was in was that Dynan M3 or F3M or whatever it is.
Yeah.
With Randy and Enrique, our dear friend,
yep.
and Jason.
No, Jason was Enrique's son that year.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was just 3 of them.
Well, it's 4.
thought
It's
they had
Neil
4.
and Randy
Neil, Randy.
and Enrique.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Grosberg.
Ah, okay, you're right.
We're missing Grosper this year. He
had
Uncle Sam said,
He's off
"We need you to
somewhere."
go somewhere."
And we don't know where. I think he's in Disney World.
811 for
That
the
is outstanding.
Second lap of the Miata.
And he's running Bridgestones. So Bridgestone doing okay.
Yeah.
Just if you're not the team right now. Hart taking off the NSX.
The NSX and a half.
NSX and a half. an NSXy car. And I think they're going to head out to Hastings. That's our next stop because today, for the past few years, you guys have seen us and following along. You've seen us go to Grissom afterwards. We're not doing that this year. Autocross is going to be at NCM.
808.
808 clockwise. This year, we're going to go straight on out to Hastings. So we got, roughly 740-mile transit after this. So there'll be plenty of time to
812.
dissect. 812, yeah. Consistent and great. So good job there.
Bridgestones.
Yep, Bridgestones. We've got an opportunity to dissect all of this in our 10, 11-hour transit drive that we've got, after this event. To bring you the coverage tomorrow, and we're going to try and sort out some other things. A smaller P car. It's a lowercase p.
Yes. Oh, so that was Neil in the Miata.
It was, 'cause his co-driver's
there's
right
Michael's
there.
right
Yep.
there talking to
So good
Amos.
job, Neil.
Yes.
Wheeling that car.
Not only is he a great
811.
American
Yep.
playwright, he
Yep.
is a great driver.
Yep. Yep.
Can we improve from an 811?
818.
818.
Yep.
Wow.
A little better on the board. Taking your time doing the turnaround. You generally want to be aggressive. Doesn't look aggressive, but doing his thing. Now that's not Eric.
No,
No, who is this?
I
You don't know.
don't remember. No, Eric's in a Supra this year.
Oh, is he? Okay. So we've got a 765. Harder clockwise. He's gone to the Everyday Driver School of Driving. See what he does here?
Looks a little faster.
It does. It sounds faster. But it seems identical.
Yeah.
I think it's another 765, it would appear.
Another Bridgestone car.
Another Bridgestone, yeah. Yep. Sprinklers go back on. This is the first Super that we've seen, I think, today, isn't it?
No, Brownie's gone.
Oh, that's right, he has. I was walking over here, so
This is one of our Supra.
surprise. Surprise.
Surprise!
That's the plural. Surprise. Put the apostrophe before the S.
Lap 1.
Lap 1 is a 794. Okay. Doesn't sound to be a lot of drama going on with that car. Which is generally good because it sounds slow, but it might be fast. This might be in the 8s. 764, I was
Yep.
wrong.
Well, I think this is the Penguin Garage entry with Lisa Keys, which her and her co-driver both are massive autocrossers.
Okay. Well, I mean, then they can get close to but there we go, the sprinklers are off again. Oh, now they're on again. It's very odd. I wonder what's going on.
Water rationing.
On a wet skid pad. Some days you're wet, some days you're dry. Some laps you're wet, some laps you're dry.
So lap number 1 in clockwise, 824.
824. Okay, so the Brock School of wet skid pad.
Probably a little bit of left foot braking going on there.
I haven't seen the brake lights. 801, a little worse for wear, but still puts him up in there for an average of probably 7.9 something, I'd say.
Yep, and that is the Penguin Garage
Okay.
car and on Bridgestones.
There you go. All right, here's a P car taking an aggressive start. It's lowercase p, and you heard that wonderful noise. That was a Ferrari, the Ferrari of Steve Loudon.
This year's only station wagon in the event.
And the only Italian car.
Yes.
Lots of Germans, lots of Englishmen, lots of, we've got everybody else represented, except for, we no French cars.
No.
So if you have a Citroen, come on out.
Or a Peugeot.
Or a Peugeot.
Peugeot.
A Peugeot makes some sound. And come on over. A 771 for the second counterclockwise. Now let's see what they pull clockwise. And I couldn't catch my tires. But no arrow on this one. Or just the regular little wingy wing.
Yep.
It's not a wang, it's a wing.
Lowercase w.
There you go. This is good. I think this is going to be in the low 7s or high 6s. Maybe low 7s. 7.6, okay. Mid. Let's see what happens here. Keeping it in mind. I think for the next one, I'm going to be quiet and just listen to this car and just call out the numbers.
Yes.
7.66. So consistent.
Yeah, if you remember the Fox NASCAR back in the day,
Yep.
like turn it up.
Yeah, here it is.
This is your turn it up right here.
It sounds a little bit like Chewbacca's sick.
Chewbacca is sick.
Chewbacca is sick. It was a 698. I was expecting more. He's going for a third. Or is this now his full second? I couldn't count. It was a 790. He does better.
Yeah.
He finds some of the grip. And what tires is he running? Because I think they all come with Pirelli standard.
I believe he's running the Pirellis.
Let's see.
No,
Nope,
he is on
Conti.
Conti's.
So Conti's generally known for really good wet weather performance, particularly in this event. I think in the past they've actually had the record here for us many times. But let's listen to Chewy. Getting a little wide there. First clockwise lap. 8:12, okay. So it's an 8:12, but it's not super fast, but he's getting there. But I'll be here all week. Let's see what else he's got. 885. There we go. He found the go fast pedal. He's getting better in a hurry. Took some zinc. He's doing some good job. All right.
It's that cinnamon rum.
It is. It finally started wearing off. That was good. You didn't have it.
No, I didn't.
It's cinnamon and vanilla.
Okay. Well, here is Adam Spence.
Yep, Adam Spence in that last minute motorsport kind of entry this year.
Yes.
All right, see how we get around here. He might be surprised.
782. For those of you watching that do track days and carry a Garmin Catalyst in your car,
This is
the guy driving, he is the father
767.
of the Catalyst.
So the Catalyst would be saying now, go faster.
Yes.
It's not your
like,
optimal line.
You suck.
Right. Like, Adam, what happened to you?
You must go faster this time there, Adam.
Here we go.
Hit the pedal on the right, Adam.
Oh, how?
No, that was...
Yeah, I know who that was. But out of deference,
Has he been canceled?
782, not yet, almost. I need a chalkboard to figure that one out. 782, so on par with the first count. And 724, oh no! It's got one lap performance.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're getting silly already after bacon.
It's really good that I don't have a soundboard right now because I would be having a lot of fun.
All right, here's another GT500 carbon fiber track pack.
And this is the...
This is the Defense. Yep,
Yeah,
Safe
Safe
Haven
Haven
Defense.
Defense.
There we go. We remembered at the same time. Another sponsor of the One Lap. Safe Haven Defense pushing out. I wonder if he's running his product. He's got bulletproof windows.
I don't know. We need to ask him during
We
the
should. Yeah, we got to knock on them. And if it just sounds like thud, 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 the answer's probably going to be yes.
Well, we could field test it this week.
Yeah. If we go through Nebraska today, we may very well wind up field. You know what? I took a screenshot yesterday of where we are going tonight to where we have to go tomorrow night. And there was a big old line of red storms right in the middle, right up Tornado Alley. So we may unintentionally test things tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that transit tomorrow. That may be an adventure.
Reed Timmer ain't got crap on us.
Well, he's going into him. We're trying to run away from him, so he has that for him.
But I think our Toyota Tundra Capstone might be a little faster than what Reed Timmer drives around.
It's true, because his Dominator, I think it's a F-Series, it's a Super Duty now,
Yeah.
that's got about 8 bajillion pounds of cladding on it. 784, so pretty much on par with Kevin on this one. Let's see if he ups it, gets into the 8.
795.
795,
Really
close.
close.
Very
Really
close.
close.
So that's just under where I think where I feel as though these cars can get, from my experience. What do I know? I only beat the pro at it. Billy not being here this year. Beaver Nuggets.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, Billy. All right, here we have a C6. Just, very unassuming, but sometimes they can be quick.
Yes, they can.
Like we saw in one of the other Corvette, the C6s. They did really well.
And this is Pete.
Pete just pulled a .817, so
Yeah.
Pete,
I always butcher his last name, so I'm not going to.
Frampton.
No.
Oh,
Zakalis.
is a cop.
He and his brother did the event.
837 upped
Wow.
there. So again,
Wow.
running silent, running deadly on this one. Oh look, there's a Michelin Man, and there actually is a Michelin Man walking around. For those of you who we're not going to pan over because we're going to keep with the action here, but yeah. What is it, Lebimbo or whatever?
Mr. Bibb.
Mr. Bibb. No, but the real French name was like Lebimbo or something.
I am not French. I don't know these things.
I'm going to get
All
to
right,
my
so here we
Puget.
go. We got Pete's first clockwise lap coming up.
Doing really well so far.
He's putting the beans to it.
He is.
We may have
Very
high
smooth.
sevens here.
Oh
my
823, doing really well. Showing people how it's done.
He's going to be at the pointy end of the field.
He's going to be pretty close to it. I think he's good. This is around top 10 for sure right now.
Definitely.
818. Still all in the 8s. Really smooth, really consistent. And Brian, we say this every year, that's what this event is about.
Yeah.
No drama going on. A very reliable car, stock by all means. So, and what tires? I couldn't.
I
see.
could not see the sticker.
It looks like Michelin, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I think it is Michelin. I see the white there.
But this is a car that they've brought multiple years.
Yes, they have the experience in it. But again, it's reliable. It's working for them. Here's a C8. So we've got another C8. I don't know if it's at a Z06 or not, but it's definitely got the performance pack on it.
Wow.
864. Okay, so far this is the fastest C8. Well, that's one lap. Let's see if they can keep it up.
It looks on par with the first one.
Might be 6.7. So just very consistent. So I think that's gonna take the C8 crown for now. We're gonna turn around and let's see what tires these are on here if we can make it out.
Conti's?
Conti's. Okay, well, again, there's that wet weather performance that we know Continental so vaunted for. It's an easy car to spot. Oh, yeah. The orange for Conti. Yeah. Coming around to take his first clockwise.
Oh, and this is Jim Bob.
Is it?
This is
This
Jim Roberts
Bob.
in his new car.
So a long time one lapper raising tons of money for the. Oh
Wow.
wow, 870 Jim Bob putting it down, raising lots of money for the breast cancer coalition or fund. I forget. I'm not going to get it right now, but I'll get it right later. 889.
Wow.
That is an outstanding job by Jim Bob.
Yep.
Well done.
And I think during his time running one lap that he has raised over $150,000 for breast cancer research.
I believe it. It's something near and dear to his heart and something that he pushes tirelessly. And he's a great ambassador for them.
And one of the greatest people you'd ever meet.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. And from my hometown of PA.
Yeah, home state.
Home state.
And when he's not driving a C8 in one lap, he's racing spec Miatas in
899 from that Audi S5.
Wow.
Got a little sideways there. That's going to hurt him. I don't know if this is going to be as fast unless you can really chuck it across the finish line. Let's see if he gets into the 820. That hurt him. He was so close from getting into that territory that we saw Mayfield getting into with that Lotus. But that's an impressive number for a four-door sedan.
Yeah, and this is Team Hall Pass.
Is it?
Yeah.
This is Paul S.
Yes.
Remember, I turned it around.
That's
There you
right.
go. All right. Let's see how he does on the right-hand side. One of the teams that we talked with ahead of time, had some fun with.
-1. Their other guy was playing golf.
Yep. Oh, that was Fig Newton, right?
Yeah, Fig Newton.
Figgy, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your scores just mystify me.
850.
854. That is outstanding.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, that's throwing down the gauntlet with an A67, so really consistent. That's going to put him.
That's strong.
Gonna,
That's
the
top five.
10.
That may
I
be
think it's
top
top
five.
10. Maybe. Maybe. It's getting close. Well, here we have a Mustang. It's a couple generations old here, but
This is the Mustang, the SCCA Mustang spec.
is it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is. You're right. Did they take the wing off? They must have, because it's not there.
Yeah, this is the club spec Mustang.
Okay. 807, respectable. I mean, that's what we saw the GT500s doing. Pretty damn near there. Here we've got 801, consistent, well driven for lap pups especially.
Yep.
So again, these are autocrossers primarily, a ton of autocross events. And as we talked to them yesterday, their purpose is to really show, it says right there, club spec, their purpose is to show that this car can really compete in a variety of different events, so the SCCA can go on and use this platform and really do a whole bunch of stuff. So they're doing a good job of making their case. They've been on par with the S295 platform. And here we've got 767, so again, a little harder going clockwise, but still within reason. You know, I'd be happier if you were up in the 7.8s, but let's see if he's consistent with this. 795. There you go. That's where you should be there. All right. Well done for our lap pup. Our number 41. He's on Goodyears.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Now, this car I was talking to you about yesterday, it looks really well prepared.
Yes, it does.
Yes, I'm expecting great things. I've been wrong before, but I hope not now.
And this is a car that also competes in Grid Life.
Okay.
So,
Grid Life, of course, previous sponsors of our streaming here, you know, good friends of our event, and you know, we have a lot of crossover between them.
his first lap.
It's 698. A little underwhelmed, but you know, again, might not be their cup of tea right now. Second comes out at 789. A great improvement.
Yes.
So maybe they're just getting a feel for it. Let's see him flip around and do it the other way.
Maybe he'll give the Travis Pastrana excuse. I thought the first lap was a recon.
There you go. Those headlights, in my OCD, it's killing me with the fog lights there because
Yes.
one's just a little bit higher than the other.
That's the body roll.
No, it's not.
I know.
Woo! Give me some water. I should have brought some up.
So Lapo 108.
826. Okay, now getting to where I expected. Maybe it was just finding that grip the first lap, figuring out where everything is. And yeah. 819, so consistent, but not bad. All right, here we go. Is this Mike? Is this why you are here, Mona? Oh, this is Mark. This is Mark Mattice. Just took over for Hooked on Driving Northeast. They now have that franchise. Cody over here to our right, and Mona, previous HOD mom here, sitting watching and videoing. Mark coming around. Let's see how he does. He's keeping it close. 819. That is not bad for Mark Mattice, and I know it's Mark because Cody's sitting right there. Mark has an 819 to start with, Bri. That's not slow.
Tires stay on the rim.
807, tires stayed on the rim so far, but now let's see if it happens this time because I was going clockwise when that happened. So now we'll find out. He had him unloaded this time. Neil driving away after the spectacular performance with the top down on that RF. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Gotta love it. He's gonna have a wonderful cruise today. Right way to do it. All right, Mark for the first of his clockwise rotations now. Let's see how he does. He's going to pull an 819 again. Very consistent. Good job, Mark. Leaning that car. He's got that in soft. That was curtsying for sure. And what does he pull off here? 826. Great job. And again, obviously, this
Excellent.
coverage and one of our event sponsors, Hooked on Driving Northeast, and Hooked on Driving Family. So, well done, Mark. Can't argue with that. And one of our teams here and one of our co-drivers for our media sponsor, making sure that they heard our plea for liquid, and we've gotten some refreshing beverages. So
here we have the 2 guys, 1 Camaro entry.
yep, there we go. So thank you, Valente Group, for this, Logan. Thank you. There we go.
Let's see what Nick's first lap's going to be like.
Well, we have a 770
And an
and an
838.
838. So that's his checkered. And he's going to loop around here. And that's better than Randy. And that's an equivalent car, if I'm not mistaken. It's not a 1LE.
That's a bigger motor. And
I don't know what you're talking about. It looks exactly the same. But the bigger motor isn't going to help you here. It's actually going to hurt you because, especially if it's a heavier motor, you're going to get more push.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see what we got first lap.
703. Uh-oh. He's channeling his inner Randy
Yeah.
on this one.
Let's go, Nick. Give it to Beans.
I
Give it
don't
to
see much
Beans.
more. 728, moderate improvement. He tricked us. He started out really strong, man. All right.
So his co-driver standing over to our left, kind of shaking his head like, what happened?
There's going to be some
Not true.
not good conversation tonight. Scott is now ripping the bunting off of the. Oh, Scott, don't do that. That's terrible.
Oh, the humanity!
They're gonna be hell of a pain.
What? Don't rip up his credentials. And it must be happening because we're calling the action and you can't see it.
Yep.
So 821, okay. Not bad.
And this is Mark John
Yep.
and Mark Meningue.
Okay. So the Marky,
Mark's over there.
Mark's there.
Mark John's in the car.
So Marky Mark with the car. Like it. He's laughing at Scott now saying, see, this is how it's done. Well,
Marky,
this is-
Mark John in the Funky Bunch.
This is terrible. Oh, my, he's giving him a wedgie now. Oh, man. He's taking his lunch money. This is terrible. Let's
Wow,
see
how
what
did you get the waistband of his underwear over his head?
That's incredible. 692. Uh-oh. Oh, the tables are
Oh,
turning.
no.
Scott now getting Mike in a full Nelson saying this is what happens. This is at a 7.53, so at the end of the day, they're pretty equal,
I
actually.
don't know how to call that one.
And as Mark John goes off, you hear music in the back going, wah, wah, wah.
Wait, no, now I just hear in sync. All right, there we go. All right, so here is Mike, another Mike here, Arrigo, and with Mona to our right filming him. And she's holding divorce paperwork in her hands with a pre-sign that says, if you don't go fast, it's over. So, here we go. Let's see what he does. 791. Okay, he's not far from Mark either. From a Tice. So this is,
Well, he has that extra
legacy HOD versus current HOD. Let's see how this does. 727, and you're all right. He does have extra drag with that bike rack up there, and I think that's accounting for the difference potentially. So not as quick on the second rotation. Mona starting to draw the M on there, on that paperwork. All right,
She seems to be pulling the shiv out of her back pocket.
it's.
I don't know if that's for us or for Mike.
There you go, Neil beeping goodbye to us. So here we go, his first rotation clockwise. Let's see how he does.
He is keeping it tight to the grass.
He's
though.
doing a good job. There's no doubt about it, because they are heavy cars. So we did 741 consistent. You know, Mark had a little bit of edge on her. Right now, the document says Mo on it. Let's see what else we got.
I think that's going to be a little bit.
746, a little bit of improvement. Mona saying, you know what, that wasn't bad. Love wins the day. She's going to hang on for another year at least, or at least another event. Let's see what happens. It's nice of you, Mona. You're a wonderful individual. Thank you. We love you.
And now we have
This is gonna be fun to watch.
The French Canadians in the Factory 5.
So we have something French. They're just the drivers.
Yes.
We've imported them.
But it's funny, you have 2 French Canadian drivers. One lives out in British Columbia now, and the other one lives in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Lap number 1.
Let's see how those carbon wheels work. We know that they don't deflect.
756.
756. Okay, so we're in. He's gone to the Camry territory. Let's see if he can pull into the P-car territory. I don't think this is going to be fast. I don't think it's going to be faster. 797. So just moderate improvement. He's going to turn around. I don't care though. You can go slow because it looks pretty no matter what speed it's going.
Yeah.
Oh, and it makes a good noise.
Yes, it does.
All right. Beep beep. Truck saying hi to us as people are. The traffic's picking up. The sun's out. It's a beautiful day. We've got a bunch of wonderful people here watching in person. Families, kids. You've got some lawn chairs out. Watching this phenomenal car go. Okay, 842. He's found the speed. He's found the right pedal. It is turning out to be an awesome day.
Yes, it is.
We can't complain. 823.
Little drop off, but not bad.
Yep. I think he tried to gun it at the end and may have generated some wheel spin, which caused a little break in his acceleration. Well, here's a C6 with some big old wing in the back.
This is the Kentucky boys.
Okay. So let's see how they get along. Taking the first green, counterclockwise.
It looks fairly quick.
It looks quick. Step up.
798.
So, not quite there yet, but let's see if they improve. Oh, look at that. Notice Mira, or is that no? It's Evora. Stock Evora. They can come out here. 780. So fairly consistent, but we can bring the Evora out here and see how it compares to Mayfield's.
And it'll probably be slower.
It might be.
It doesn't have a whole bunch of Zebulon on
That's true. Man, we started talking about it last year, and I saw it on there again this year. Those side skirts, that's a work of art.
Wicked.
They're good to look at. They function, and man, they're just so pretty.
Yes, they are.
I've got Aero in me. All right.
So 792, first rotation.
Yep. Going to the Brock School on this one.
And a little goose there at the end.
Yep.
And he drops off.
7.8. Yep. I think it's if you goose too early, you have to build it up gradually and then sort of slingshot it across the line. Yep. You can't goose because then you get that tire spin and it just retards your acceleration and it kills you.
All right, here we have another of the Supra.
Surprise.
I think this might be
Silver one. Is that Eric?
I have to see the tag. I have to see the license tag.
Boo.
And if it's Florida tags, that is Eric Scheimers and his teammates Supra.
I can't see through the car wash.
I can't either. So,
we only have a handful of cars left.
yep. So the second lap of the Supra was 0.745.
Yep. Just charge it up. We're an hour 37 in, so we got roughly 3 hours of broadcast time.
Yes.
All right, move it. Surprise. Surprise. What he's got?
Clockwise lap number 1 is
8:16.
wow, quicker than their counter.
Yeah. It's no Camry. You know, 3, drop down a bit. Right. Now, I don't know. What do you think? Let's take bets on this because this car's got a lot of tire on it. This Subaru, all-wheel drive still.
Yep.
Got big old turbo, a lot of aero, pretty high up. So, and he's got a splitter. So I don't know. Let's see. I don't know.
Oh no.
He keeps backing out of the boost. So I don't know. 795, not bad, but
There's more there.
I
There's
get
a
the
lot
feeling
more there.
that if he kept it in the boost and was left foot braking, he'd be able to get a little bit more because I'm hearing him come completely off of the throttle
Yep.
as he's doing his rotation. 796. So I think this might be one of those instances where practice and the years of experience really come into play. And you know, maybe watching the live stream when we were doing it with Brock, as I was actually showing a tutorial what to do with your left foot. So. Yeah.
And Gretchen and her husband, they didn't know if they were going to make it. They had some last minute issues, so
Yep. A lot of people had a lot of last minute issues.
and
Yep, she was-
they pulled into the parking lot at the hotel yesterday right before the drivers' meeting.
Yep.
So.
Yep. No, she was in contact with me throughout,
Yep.
letting me know. And looks like one of our timing teams is going to head out.
That's 10. And then like Gretchen at the wheel, 8:16 on the second lap.
Respectable, but I think, again, there's more there. It's that delta of experience. Come on over, Mr. Mark. So we've got the driver of one of those pretty M4 competitions, the HOD Current versus HOD Legacy, as we were calling it out.
Yes.
And it was pretty close. So Mark, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Mark Hooked on Driving Northeast.
Yep.
Just got to do my first ever wet skid pad.
Yep. It was pretty good, man.
Not bad. I think I saw an 826 for my fastest one way. I don't know what the other way was.
Yep. It was impressive, and it was consistent more than anything. So do you have a soft setting? Is that what you were on? 'Cause
Actually, no, I screwed that up. So I put the car in full track mode, all nannies off, and it was all stiff.
Oh, that didn't help you.
Did not help, but I did follow Brock's advice,
Left foot?
and I was left foot braking a lot. I could feel the front just start to lose grip, tap the brake a little bit, and then being some all-wheel drive, it was more forgiving.
Yep.
The turnaround was, I think, the most fun because I had all my nannies off and I got to drift it up through there, so that was cool. But
Yep.
no, I was really happy. I was hoping for 7s,
Nice.
and I ended up low 8s,
You were
and
good.
that's a win for me.
That was great. So, Mark, obviously, and we were just actually talking about the Subaru here and saying that with a little more practice, because you could tell that they were getting out of the boost and they weren't left for braking, they were sort of just getting out of it fully. And I guess that brings me up to practice and experience and track time of all sorts. And why don't you just sort of give us a little bit of an idea about what it is that Hooked on Driving, particularly in the Northeast region, what you're about. So come a little closer so people can hear you as we're doing this.
Yeah, so Hooked on Driving, we are an HPDE organization.
The HPDE organization.
Correct.
Thank you.
We are all about, rule number 1 is always safety. But beyond that, it's fun and teaching people how to drive on track and drive on track well. And you think, well, maybe I don't want to drive on track because I don't ever do that. But what you learn on track will translate in everyday life more than you know. And next thing you know, you're going down the road and a deer jumps out. And now you've noticed that deer because we've taught you to keep your eyes up, look ahead, look through the next corner. Now you've seen that deer well before anyone else is, you can avoid it. So, but it's a awesome organization, all about family, all about fun, teaching people how to drive. I started there in 2013 in October with my brand new Roush, and I had a wonderful coach. His name was Solomon.
I've heard things about him. But obviously Brian and I have deep roots with HOD as well. And I think my favorite part, at the end are the barbecues. I mean,
Yes.
you know, and you look out here today, and I think the crowd is starting to disperse as we get lower down into the field, and some of the fancier machinery may be going away. But I mean, at its height here, we had quite a few families, children, everybody out here. And it's wonderful to see, but that's really what you try and provide with HOD.
Yeah, we don't want we want anybody, right? But our main goal is to make it a family function, right? It's now an event. It's not a track day or a track weekend. It's an event where your whole family comes. Everyone's
885. I'm just going to interrupt for 1 second. That is outstanding.
Reg, excellent
laying
job.
it down. John would be proud of that one. That
Yes, he
was
would.
fantastic. Way to go, Reg. Well, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
Mark,
hey,
but we talking about family.
That
That's it
word's
right
getting
there.
that
right?
word's getting cutting off,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, Reg is his first year without John,
Yep.
and it's emotional for everybody. Obviously, Reg as well, more so. But no, it's a family. We want it to be a family event. We want everyone to come. They can do other things. Your significant others we'll arrange things. We can arrange things for you to go do something else while someone's on track. After the track goes cold, we start the grill, barbecue, music going. One night we had F1 on the garage. It's just everyone kind of hangs out, has fun, and then
There's
all inclusive.
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about it last night, like at the Glen. You know, there's tons of wineries up there.
Yep.
You know, so again, if you bring your family, the only wine you'll hear is the supercharger. You know,
That's right.
Not the family complaining, right?
We will find things for people to do.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Mark, thank you again so much for your sponsorship, for your support, and your friendship. We
Hey,
greatly
thank you guys.
appreciate it. And we got a long drive today, but you're gonna be comfortable.
Oh yeah. The Tom Hesser BMW M4 is comfy.
And for competition, you got the car.
Extra.
Yeah, extra.
Yes.
Sweet.
All right.
We won't hold you up too long. Thanks,
Thank you,
Mark.
guys.
So we got the Wing Grandpas
Here we go.
out. I'm not sure.
781. You're doing okay.
I'm not sure if John or Wendell's at the
Yep.
wheel.
793. So better.
But-
Well, as I see Wendell right there, I'm pretty sure it's John.
Yep.
So, by process of elimination, did they not? Did they do? I was.
Yeah, they
otherwise
did.
engaged. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. And here is
Brad.
here's Brad. Here's Brad. Here we go.
Brad piloted this year by Eric Cullens and Old Man Steve.
Yep. First counterclockwise rotation gives us a 788. Not bad, drama free, but they're doing okay.
Yeah.
And you know, it's interesting because yes, obviously, and we got to give it. Josh no longer the owner of Nothing Leaves Stock, but for many years, you know, Josh building these cars, and he got them ready for this year as well as shops. They're holding their own. I mean, 773, and we saw what Reg did, and he was above most of the P cars.
Yes.
Which is really saying something for the amount of attention, detail, and work that's gone into making these one-lap vehicles.
But Reg has a lot of laps.
He does have a
around
lot of laps.
driving and pushing.
Yes, this is true. I recall that one. That was a blast back in, what is that?
That was in 2013. That was
13 or 12?
2012, I believe we pushed
Maybe,
the
I
car
think so,
around.
yep. Because I still had the camcorder in my hand, I remember. And we were just running around the track pushing that car because, you know, not everything always goes to plan with these builds, but when they work really well.
And an 838.
That, I
on
mean, that's
lap
P-car
2.
territory.
Yes.
That is.
Let's see if we can tell who's that's a taller head, so I
Taller
would say
head's
that
gonna
would be Eric.
Yep, I agree. I concur.
And they're
On the
running on
Contis.
Contis.
Yep.
Nothing Leaves Stock is now everyday fishing.
Is it?
Yeah, well, you know,
Oh, well,
Josh.
that's shot, yes. There you go.
We've got a couple of old Studebaker Avantis that have pulled in behind us. Guys, if you ever get to South Bend,
Oh, yeah.
you have to go and check out the Studebaker Museum. It is amazing the amount of vehicles that they have there. There's even some of the original Studebaker horse-drawn carriages.
Really?
And I believe Lincoln's funeral procession carriage is at the Studebaker Museum.
Wow. My wealth of knowledge.
as well as the Studebaker that Fozzie Bear drove in the Muppet movie.
You know who hasn't made an appearance this year yet?
Who was that?
Manamana.
That's right.
It's Manama what?
Wow, it's day one and we're already this silly.
In fairness, we've had an entire day to lead up to this.
Oh my goodness.
And it is sunny and we're baking it in, so that's okay.
Wait till you guys see One Lap After Dark.
Yeah, right? Well, you know, we've always said with age comes experience, and we've done this now many, many years together. So our delta to get to the goofy point is probably diminished quite a great bit.
Yeah. Yes, it has.
As all 16 people right now can tell.
I think between the two of us, we have 32 years of one lap between the two of us.
Yeah. We're almost a point.
Yeah.
We'll catch up one day.
Yes.
Actually, we will, because as each of us accumulates years, we will catch up.
That's right.
I just thought about that. I'm like, wait, that was actually intelligent. That wasn't as inane as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I had to scratch my head just a second as the C6, his first lap is 0.843.
And that is C5.
C5,
That's
yes.
a C5.
I'm sorry, C5. And
The
then an
older we
A35.
get in stock form, the faster they seem to be.
Yes.
That's an interesting correlation that nobody figured, I guess. 835. All right. Turning around. That's an old Z06.
Yeah.
But doing well.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes to our point, right? Stock vehicle, it is really, that's what you want to bring, especially your first time, because it's not going to lack for performance. You're just going to lack for experience potentially. But that's quick.
And the great thing about a stock vehicle, most of the time a stock vehicle is going to be a comfortable vehicle.
Yeah, right. And if anything, 838 again. And if anything breaks, there's going to be availability for parts.
Off the shelf.
Right.
And
810, a little slower, but that was consistent.
Yeah.
Well driven, for a car that's, Brock thought would be down in the 62nd and clearly a lot higher up in the order. Let's see how they do on track, but at least here, show them what they're made of. All right, who is this?
This is the Brock Yates Memorial Fund entry.
This is Rossini. Yep, Brock Yates Memorial Fund.
The next car going off, I'm going to be curious as to how he does in the skid pad.
Okay.
Because we both like that car. Well, I guess it's the color.
The color, yeah. It brings back fond memories.
Yes, it does.
And as you pointed out, 10 years ago at this point, right?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I cried when I took that car back to BMW.
I know you did. Steve Rossini with a 734 on the first. And on the second, 801.
Wow.
All right.
Very respectful.
He's upping it. Better than I thought, to be quite frank. And I think after this vehicle, we may have to stop because my battery on this is dwindling.
It's probably beginning to overheat a little bit.
It
too.
may, because we are in direct sunlight and we're coming up to that 2-hour mark.
Yes.
So we may do an outro afterwards, and then you'll follow. If you stay tuned, we're gonna do stuff on Instagram. We'll do stuff, and that'll stream to Facebook. But we'll put some shorts up throughout the day.
Yes.
We've got a really cool feature that I'm gonna start editing on the Transit here. We started doing it yesterday. It's 3 things that we like about the cars. So every car. So we went around to a bunch yesterday. Brian and I agreed on.
Let me jump in real
Go
quick.
ahead.
865 on
Wow.
Rossini's last clockwise lap.
Okay, that's surprising.
That is very surprising that much of a jump up from the counterclockwise laps, which should be faster.
He did push it at the end because he got very, very wide, so he did it the right way.
Yep.
He built up and then sent it at the end, and I think that played a big role in it, but nonetheless,
Here
great
comes
performance.
the beautiful Secure Orange M2.
Yep.
Yes, every time I see a BMW in that color, I have fond memories of our M6 Grand Coupe that
Brings a smile.
BMW North America graciously gave us in 2014.
Yep, they entrusted, and there were only, at that point, 3 in the country. And then you saw it, like, I think a week
801.
later, going to, what's it called? Going to the Masters.
Yep. Well, no, it
Or
was
Augusta?
no, it was the PGA event at Thornblade in Greenville. It was one of their courtesy cars.
Yeah. And did it have our
Yes,
sticker
it
still on
did.
the back that covered up the tow hook hole that had somehow fell out on a very bumpy dirt road
Going to Gingerman. Yes.
All right.
So
Well,
clockwise lap number 1, almost in the books. He's up at the top. Coming back down to Mark Hopkins, the greatest starter in one lap history.
yep.
8:45.
Okay.
Wow.
Doing well. Again, P-car territory.
Yes. Nice short wheelbase, wide stance.
Yep.
Real aggressive car.
Yep.
And an 813.
And not a manual as I thought initially,
Yep.
but still. Yeah, 813. All right. So, as Fred Edelman, a former owner of HOD,
Yeah. Several iterations
you have
ago.
several iterations, comes to take his wet skid pad. Or is Bridget driving this?
I don't know.
You know what? I'm going to hang with this for a second before I do the outro.
No, that's
It's
Fred.
Fred.
It's Fred.
Okay. If it were Bridget, I would have hung with it because I'm very curious to see how she would have done here.
Faster.
But we don't. Ooh. All right. So I'm going to step in front here, and Brian will let me know if I'm in frame. There you go.
You are good.
I'm good. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us for our coverage of the wet skid pad here at the 2024 Tire Rack One Lap of America. It's only day 1. We've got a whole week coming up. We'll be back here next Saturday, bringing all the fun, bringing all the adventures for the dry skid pad when we do the skid pad smoke out also. So it'll be a good time. But follow along with us throughout the day. We'll be popping up and down live stream. It'll be on Instagram primarily. We'll do a few shorts during the day as well. But the live stream will continue tomorrow morning. I think, what are we, 9 o'clock, Ryan?
Well,
9:30
it'll be 9:30 Eastern.
Eastern. Okay, that's right. So
Fred, you went the wrong way.
Fred is going the wrong way again. Okay, that's Fred. In any event, for the shenanigans and for the 2024 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsport Magazine, with this coverage brought to you by Hooked on Driving, Everyday Driver, and the Valente Group, and a special thank you to Eric Call from Verizon for helping us out here. I'm Solomon, that's Brian. We're at Tire Rack. It's a beautiful day. Those are his thumbs. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.